In the early years of the 21st century, the European Union embarked on a transformative journey to reshape its approach to chemical safety and environmental protection. This journey culminated in the establishment of two pivotal regulations, REACH and ROHS. While seemingly technical and bureaucratic, these regulations were born out of a pressing need to safeguard both public health and the environment from the potentially hazardous impacts of chemicals and electronic waste. REACH, an acronym for Registration, Evaluation, Authorization, and Restriction of Chemicals, was introduced in 2007. Its origins trace back to a growing awareness of the dangers posed by chemicals in everyday products. As industries expanded and globalization took hold, the use of synthetic chemicals proliferated, often without a comprehensive understanding of their long-term effects on human health and the environment. The European Commission recognized that the existing frameworks were inadequate to address these risks and set forth to create a more robust regulatory environment. The primary objective of REACH is to ensure that manufacturers and importers of chemicals provide sufficient information regarding the properties and hazards of the substances they produce or import. It requires companies to register chemical substances with the European Chemicals Agency, cskh, if they manufacture or import over 1 ton per year. This registration process involves gathering data on the chemical's properties, uses, and potential risks, thereby fostering transparency and accountability in the chemical supply chain. The regulation also emphasizes the need for risk assessments, ensuring that any potential hazards are identified and managed effectively. On the other hand, ROHS, which stands for Restriction of Hazardous Substances, was introduced in 2003, with the aim of minimizing the environmental impact of electronic and electrical equipment. The rapid advancement of technology led to a surge in electronic waste, raising alarms about the toxic substances often found in these products. ROHS restricts the use of specific hazardous materials, such as lead, mercury, cadmium, and certain flame retardants, in electrical and electronic equipment. The regulation mandates that manufacturers ensure their products comply with these restrictions before they can be sold in the European market. The significance of REACH and ROHS extends far beyond compliance. They represent a paradigm shift in how industries approach product design and manufacturing. The regulations encourage companies to prioritize sustainability by promoting the development of safer alternatives to hazardous substances. This proactive approach not only protects consumers and the environment, but also fosters innovation within industries. Companies are increasingly investing in research and development to create greener products, which, in turn, can lead to competitive advantages in a market that is progressively leaning towards sustainability. For manufacturers, compliance with REACH and ROHS presents both challenges and opportunities. The registration process under REACH can be resource-intensive, requiring extensive data collection and analysis. Smaller companies, in particular, may struggle to navigate the complexities of the regulation, leading to calls for support and guidance from larger firms or industry associations. However, the long-term benefits of compliance often outweigh the initial burdens. By ensuring their products are free from hazardous substances, manufacturers can enhance their brand reputation and build trust with consumers who are increasingly concerned about health and environmental issues. Consumers, too, play a crucial role in this narrative. As awareness of environmental and health issues grows, so does the demand for safer, more sustainable products. The visibility of REACH and ROHS compliance marks a significant step towards informed consumer choices. Labels indicating compliance with these regulations empower consumers to make decisions that align with their values, fostering a market where sustainability is not just a trend but a standard expectation. The impact of these regulations on public health and the environment cannot be overstated. By restricting hazardous substances in everyday products, REACH and ROHS contribute to reducing exposure to harmful chemicals. This is particularly significant for vulnerable populations, including children and pregnant women, who are often more susceptible to the effects of toxic substances. Moreover, the regulations play a critical role in minimizing environmental pollution. By controlling the release of hazardous materials into the environment, they help protect ecosystems and biodiversity, ensuring a healthier planet for future generations. The implications of REACH and ROHS extend beyond Europe, influencing global practices in chemical safety and waste management. As other regions and countries observe the positive outcomes of these regulations, there is a growing trend towards adopting similar frameworks. This ripple effect highlights the interconnectedness of global markets and the importance of collaborative efforts in addressing environmental and health challenges. Manufacturers operating in international markets must now navigate a complex web of regulations, often leading to a race towards higher safety standards worldwide. However, the journey is not without its challenges. Critics of REACH and ROHS often point to the potential for stifling innovation, suggesting that stringent regulations may hinder the development of new technologies. The balance between regulation and innovation is delicate, requiring ongoing dialogue between policymakers, industry leaders, and stakeholders. It is essential to ensure that regulations do not become an impediment to progress, but rather serve as a catalyst for innovation in safer, more sustainable practices. As the world continues to grapple with the implications of climate change and environmental degradation, the significance of REACH and ROHS becomes increasingly apparent. These regulations are not merely bureaucratic hurdles. They are essential components of a broader strategy to create a sustainable future. By prioritizing human health and environmental protection, they set a precedent for responsible manufacturing and consumption practices. In conclusion, the narrative of REACH and ROHS is one of proactive governance, driven by the imperative to protect public health and the environment. Their origins in the early 21st century reflect a growing recognition of the dangers posed by chemicals and electronic waste. The regulations' objectives, ensuring transparency, promoting safer alternatives, and minimizing hazardous exposure, are crucial in shaping a sustainable future. As manufacturers adapt to these requirements and consumers demand safer products, the impact of REACH and ROHS will continue to resonate, guiding us towards a healthier planet for generations to come.